Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Monday morning. Now, we got something different again. We're going to skip our weather. We're going to have so much video. I hope you enjoyed last week's video. Very unique and special to us. But today, what we're doing, we're going to do a double feature. And I know as a kid, if you remember back in the day, going on Saturday afternoon to the double feature at the movie theater in your local town, that was a big deal back in the day. Kids now don't understand it. So the first segment will be about 7 minutes. That's when Bill Allen and I went on our fishing trip down to Apalachicola Bay in the northern part of it. We did that last week. So we have some speckled trout fishing first, and then what we're going to do, the second part is going to be special. We're on a dove shoot up there with Mike Miller, with Mandy and Megan, and what they do each year, they have a appreciation cookout, and then some of them dove food, but it's a great cookout. A special segment here in some of our fishing heritage, losing one of our old timers. So this is just a special day as far as a double feature. We're going to have dove shoot, and also before that, the trout. So let's take a break and be right back with these videos. All right, here we are now the Abercrombie ramp at the lower end of the Apalachicola River. Bill and I, he called me yesterday, said, let's go fishing. I didn't say, but all I said was, what time? And Bill, we waited till the tide. Tell us what we're doing today.
That's perfect. High tide was an hour and 20 minutes ago. So we're gonna catch that falling tide down here. And it's supposed to be a northeast wind, or a north wind, which we really wanted, but
all of a sudden we feel like it's coming out of the south.
Feels like it's coming out of the south.
Yes,
so that may put a little strain on the trolling motor, but other than that, it shouldn't be that hard. But all the conditions are right except for that. If that's the worst part, that'll be okay.
We can live with that. Got about 3 or 4 other folks here. It's a beautiful place. Somebody beat us to our spot. Somebody beat us to our spot. All right. That's a nice one. That's a nice trout.
Oh, Winston, he might be close.
I believe he might.
We'll see.
Okay. All right, let's see.
He might be close. Does Miss Gail want anything?
We don't know. We're not trying to cook them.
He's close.
Yeah.
He might make it. He'll make it now.
All right.
All right, Winston. Not wanting to be outdone, because we have struggled today, but we have found some fish, and that's another one that looks like he might be very close to measuring. I don't know.
Right.
I think he's a little shorter than mine.
That's the old electric chicken, old standby electric chicken.
That's how desperate we were. We're pulling out all his stops now. He might get there. He's pretty close.
All right.
Nice job.
That's nice. Do you want them?
No, turn them loose.
All right.
We'll come back catch them later.
All right, good deal. All right, now we're getting. That's good. That's good. We got two fish on.
I knew me and you could catch fish some kind of way. The electric chicken and Winchester strike again.
It's been steady this afternoon with electric chicken. That's my third bait.
That is.
I tried a little.
Well, I think when this tide got within the last hour and a half, it really started moving.
That's 14 inches.
And we caught, you know, quite a few like that. Just hadn't waiting on the big one to turn the camera on, but we figured we better take some more film.
Back at the land and got the boat out.
Back safe.
We were talking about how we adapted. We caught some fish.
Yeah.
And how we were able, we had to move around a lot. We thought we found them here, caught a couple, and then quit.
Yeah, instead of catching them trolling like we usually do, it just wasn't working, and we had that south wind that was supposed to be a north wind at 5. It was a south wind at 12 to 15, and it limited where we could be. So I actually started paying attention to the fish finder a little bit, and then found some places where creeks were coming in, and we stopped and casted, and that's when we caught some pretty good fish. But the usual haunts were just about unfishable, so we had to change tactics.
We changed tractors and we changed bait. I personally I started off with a root beer, didn't have any luck with it. I went to a shad, and then didn't have any luck, and finally I went to electric chicken.
Electric chicken.
And
broke the ice with the electric chicken.
Started rolling with that.
Yeah, and I stayed that little twin tail for the most part. I changed a couple of times. Water was clear. I mean, right now it'd be perfect. You know, the wind's laid down, but we're at the end of the tide. I mean, we got back here at 4:45 our time, and that was the low tide. So, and you know, the last hour and a half, that tide was really moving, and the wind started to lay down, and that's when the fish got turned on.
It's one beautiful place down here.
Oh, it's just gorgeous. Yeah. We had a you know, a great time. We've been fishing together for years. It's a lot of fun, and no better way to spend an afternoon.
Beautiful day. All right, buddy. Let's head home.
Let's eat.
Let's eat. All right. Yeah, you got to come up with something good to say in a little bit. We're going to film the kitchen.
Hey, Captain.
Lee Connors.
How are you, baby?
Buddy, what's your job today?
Hey, I'm the cornbread cooker.
The cornbread cooker.
Cornbread cooker.
Well, what's Mike Miller doing back there?
He don't know what he's doing.
Matt, are you helping out too?
You gonna get a taste of my famous pulled pork today.
Oh, all right. Look at here, look at here.
You gotta make some grilled cheese for the kiddies. We're making Jesse Allen grilled cheeses for that chili.
You know, tell the folks, we have new viewers, tell them who Jesse Allen was, how well.
He was the cook on the New Dixie Queen. And he ended up starting Allen Seafood over on 23rd Street. And he was just a great cook and a heck of a guy. He used to go to Mariana to get his ham. They'd bring him all the way down here. He wouldn't use these hams local.
Hey, that's some good food on that boat, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, all kind of people up here. We're gonna let everybody. We got all these trucks up here. You know, it's outdoorsman. So we're gonna do some interviews and all. We're gonna tell everybody who you are. Well, I know, but go ahead.
All right, hey Coach. So I am Megan Miller. I have Miller Marine with my dad and sister and uncle in Southport, and every year we have the opportunity to host a dove shoot for our charter boat community. So we are here doing that today, and we also wanted to double today as an opportunity to remember someone that was very important in the charter boat community or the fishing community, Captain Dobby. And so I have asked Captain Bob Miley, who is like another father to me.
Yes.
And also
a
famous fisherman.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Bobby Miley. I mean, everybody knows him.
So Bob's going to give a little bit of a historical background and say a few words about Captain Dobby.
Okay.
Okay, Dobby Monk, I worked with him when I was a young boy. Of all the people, and I've been blessed to have so many people touch my life, but this guy was as quick-witted guy as I ever knew in my life. And he taught me how to live and work and be responsible. Great guy. And he got sick here the other day. He was 84. And great guy, great friend. I spent lots and lots of time with him on the water, on the river, up in the woods, just oystering, doing it all. He taught me how to clean crabs. He taught me a lot about everything. When I was a kid, needing some direction, and he gave it to me, a lot of it. Great guy. And I was fortunate enough to work for Mike's granddaddy and uncles, George W. Davison's son, and they employed some of the best in the world who would give you the shirt off their back. And I was lucky enough to be in that era of time. And
Yeah.
Dobby happened to be, he made $10 a day and I made $8. And if I got a check Monday after school, I'd get a check for $7.65, and Dobby's would be $9.56.
Oh my goodness.
But it was back then. He showed us how to. We had to split skipjacks and salt them, and just a wonderful friend. And this is the first boat he fished on, and he had a heart of gold. He would cook fish heads down to feed those little kitty cats that he had. And this was a good example of him. He's waiting on it to get, he didn't care if it was dark. He said the difference between daylight and dark is the color of the air. But this is a fish that I brought him, probably the last good meal of fish that he got to eat. And I'd caught him on the cat and around one day and took him to him. But he was always a great freshwater fisherman that taught me all about how to do it, and clean crabs and head shrimp, the whole deal. And real McCoy. They wish there was more people in the fishing business today like him, but they're all disappearing.
Well, what a tribute, Bobby. And when you think about it, men like that, they built the industry.
Absolutely.
And then they influenced people like you. And how many years have you been in it?
Well, I'll be 71 in January. I started fishing with Joe Ed Davis and Grover and Doug when I was 11 years old.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we would split skipjacks. I'll tell you a funny story about him. Back then, they had 5 big queen boats, and 4 of them would leave at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, I worked on one with Feeny Whitfield that left at 7. Well, back then we used skipjacks every day, and you had to salt them. And if you split skipjacks, which a lot of people don't even know what they are now, so
Yeah.
they're ladyfish.
Ladyfish.
Back then, that's what we used primarily. Greatest bait there was. If you could get them, they're still great. But Dobby, the 2 o'clock boats would come around there and get our bait off of the Dixie Queen, because we wouldn't leave till 7 o'clock. So they did that 2 or 3 times, and after you split all those jacks and you got a garbage can full of, you don't want to redo that. You want to keep that and have well, the next day, Dobby said, what we're going to do today all day. He called me Knucklehead. He said, Knucklehead, we're going to save every little shark, everything that you can, that's no good, put it in this garbage can, and then we're going to take about that much good skipjack and put right on top of it. And the rest of it is junk. And we did that. And the next day, Dobby told Feeny, he says, find out who it is that's like it's bait. And it was the Star Queen that got it at 2 o'clock, and they needed some bait. But great guy, very quick-witted, taught me a lot about class, you know, great guy.
What a great tribute.
Yes, sir. Loved it.
What's happening, brother? Is this your
Thought we'd have a sacrifice around here, but I didn't see it. They did come out and everybody else. Got a good one on. Am I doing it equal?
It is good.
I feel pretty sure we won't go hungry, Coach. I don't know. Hey guys.
All right, I got Mel Miller here, who's made a career. How you been doing, Mel?
I'm doing fine, sir. You?
I'm doing good. What about your Dobby?
Robert, I met Dobby when I was 15 years old. And he was kind of the master of the deck of the ocean when we were working together. Bobby, Molly, Mike, Miller, and them, they're gone. They've got their license and they're running boats. Dobby and I. So I've known Dobby for 50 years. And we worked together in the fish market. We worked together on boats, and he was something else.
There are a lot of good things about him.
There was a lot of good things about Dobby. Dobby, he was a master about everything he did. He'd tell stories. You know, I really like his stories. He told me one time about how he learned to drink coffee. He was like 14 years old, and he was on a little schooner down in the Bay of Campeche, and all the old timers were in the galley. They were drinking coffee, and the captain asked me, "Son, you drink coffee?" He said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, you need to get out there and start working." So he said, "I love to drink coffee."
Robert Mom. He's gone. We didn't get a chance to say goodbye. This is kind of our chance to say goodbye to him here today. And we just talk about the good old times, the memories we have of him. And, I started working with him when I was 15 years old. So I knew him close to 50 years. Part of our life. We're almost 50 years. He worked with us. Bobby spent time with him on a boat. Mike spent time with him on a boat. A lot of time. And then a lot of us spent time with him in the fish market or whatever it might have been. But Hank spent time with him at Jerry Anderson's market. And, we all knew him in some way.
It's a can man.
Yeah.
Can man.
Oh, yeah.
I always left a pile of them.
He always has. Yep.
I don't remember if I started with Dobby, but they started that half-day boat, so me and Dobby was Richard Hawley's deckhands. And that was really a great summer. And all the way home, we cleaned in triggerfish. And we hammed. There's nobody ever will compete with Dobby on cleaning fish as far as the amount that he has done it. But anyway, we cleaned them fish, and it'd be pure hams, and he'd carry them over on his way home to a fish market, I think in Springfield or Parker.
It was right there. It was J.D. Homes right
J.D.
there
Homes.
where Speedy Car Wash is on Fifth Street, right down in there.
That's right. That's exactly.
where. Yeah.
They give us 15 cents a pound for them, and they was just pure meat. And next day, he'd show you the ticket, and that's what they give us. Here's your part.
That's right.
And every day we do that. And, we didn't make a whole lot, but it helped. $7, $8 a day back then. When you're making $8 a day, and then you got another $8 for that,
right.
and then plus your tips, you end up doing pretty good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was fun.
But we'll never forget him.
No.
He was true.
Oh, he was one of a kind. And if I go to school and his Uncle Grover, my mama bought me some of those shoes with the buckles on them. And he said, "How far do you have to run that pilgrim about to get them shoes?" and Joey, when I told him I made $8, he said, "That's $5 more than you'd worth." I said, "What's you gonna do with that?" He said, "I'd go with it."
Me and Bobby tell all the time that
That was the greatest way to be raised.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Growing up on them boats just wouldn't take nothing for it.
It was, we were touched by lots of people back then.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of people. And
We're going to get a table. All right, everybody got some food, spreading out. There's always a group of guys behind the house. That's funny. Man and Megan. What a special get together each year. Okay, as you can see, they've started a dove shoot. I'm not going to hunt this year. It's pretty well covered. Look at there. They're tearing them up down there. Got the field covered over here. To the west of us, you see the trucks all around. Got a good dove shoot set up. I'll hunt them again later. But it's been a great day up here at Mike Miller's with Mandy and Megan and all of these guys and girls. Yeah, that corner's hot now. Next time I want to get there.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.